What's going on, guys? King Strats here, back into the video on the channel, and today it is Sunday afternoon. Just finished a long morning of shoveling. Had to shovel my workplaces, and y'all don't care. Settling in for my Sunday football slate. It is playoff time, so a lot of teams are going to be eliminated. I always want to catch as much NFL football as I can. So I got some halal guys. I haven't had halal guys in forever, but when I was checking, a lot of the mom and pop places, because of the snow, I'm guessing, were like delayed opening or were closed, or which I understand, you know, sometimes you got different things that you got to deal with. So I went with a franchise place that I haven't had in a while, and I got some items that were new, never seen these before, and they're limited edition. So I'm gonna try these things out, and then we're gonna have a little bit of a conversation. But drop a thumbs up. You guys already know the vibe, but let me show you what I got. So these are the new items that I've never seen before. There are 4 in total. First of all, we have some honey sriracha falafel, which is like a new thing, but I love falafel. I figured that one might be interesting. Then there's a different kind of hummus, which I don't know which one is which, I'm gonna be honest with you. So I'm gonna open both of these up. I'm guessing this is it. So this is caramelized onion hummus. And I got baba ganoush because I've never had their baba ganoush before. Right? I can't tell which one's which, I'm gonna be honest with you. That looks like baba ganoush to me though. Then we have a chocolate baklava cheesecake. If you don't know, I am one of the biggest fans of baklava that you will ever find. Saw this, I had to try this thing out. And then last, they have a new kind of chicken, which is called the sizzling chicken platter. Now, it doesn't have any white sauce on it because I have to put it on myself, but that's the chicken over here. You get the option of picking another protein. So I got the regular falafel for comparison, and then it comes with pita and tomatoes. You can also get lettuce, but I really don't care for lettuce if you don't know. I know some people don't like that, but I just don't really care for iceberg lettuce. It's not my thing. The chips come with the hummus, and then, of course, you get the white sauce and the hot sauce. You got to dress this bad boy up. People ask about halal, guys. If you've never heard of it, they started in New York as like a halal-style pushcart kind of thing that was really popular around here, and they just made it a franchise. So what do I think of it? If I'm going to be perfectly honest, it's hit or miss at times, but if you live in an area that doesn't have this kind of stuff, I would say to give it a shot. It's probably the closest thing that you'll get if you don't live like in New York or a place that, you know, they necessarily have all this stuff. So let's get the hot sauce on here as well. I don't overdo the hot sauce. I usually like to put it on as I go because, you know, it make your stomach rumble just a little bit. So, which I use the whole pack. Doesn't matter. Okay, so let's try this bad boy out. Nice little cutlery. It's been over a year since I had this, but I'm interested because I've been eating a lot of just regular platters from places, but I thought I could use this little weak fork. Oh, no. Y'all gotta give me a second, man. I gotta get a spoon. I don't need a spoon. That is better. So just remember for reference, when I rate these things, I'm not rating it against a New York style or just the halal pushcart stuff because I don't expect it to be that good. So I'm gonna rate it more on a franchise scale, but I always try to give people that indication just in case you've never had this before. If I don't rate this, you know, as low or as high as you think, I just try to give people an indication. But anyway, let's start off with the honey sriracha falafel. Now you get 2 in an order and they come out to $2, which again, this is a little bit expensive, but your prices are your prices. Can't be mad at that. Honey sriracha sounded interesting because usually falafel just come like falafel. Now there's a dipping sauce with this, so I'm gonna try the first bite without anything on it. Even with lower expectations, this is still very disappointing. I'm going to dip this in and give it a shot, though. I asked for honey sriracha falafel. I do get a little bit of spice. There's really not much honey. I double checked to make sure they had it, so I don't want to think this is the wrong order, but it almost doesn't. It tastes like it is. But for reference, again, it is in fact on the receipt. So it's even by a franchise standard a very average falafel. I would give it a 5 out of 10. I'm just not getting much flavor from this other than crunchy, and I mean, for reference, just a little, like it's such a hint that it's not I expected it to be a little bit more of that flavor over anything, and it just tastes like a normal falafel. You're better off just dipping it in white sauce and then eating it that way. That one's kind of disappointing, just very average. Now we're gonna move into this spiced sizzling chicken platter. This comes to $12, and the description says it is a dried green herbs with toasted sesame seeds, dried sumac, and savory spices. We'll see. I mean, I probably shouldn't have covered this with the other stuff. I'm gonna get a piece that doesn't have the white sauce on it, just for to see what it tastes like. It does taste different than a normal chicken. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right, let me just get a whole bite here, though. Make sure I get a whole bite with the rice and the sauce. This isn't bad. Again, I'm grading this, or thinking about this, not comparing it to a regular platter. Right off the bat, if you go to, like, you know, not normal, but a mom and pop type of halal spot, it'll blow this out of the water. But if you're not near it, I like the spice blend on this. Now, when I looked up the flavor description and it said the dried sumac, I didn't necessarily know what it was. So it's a Middle Eastern spice, and I'm really tasting that because what it comes across is very lemony. And according to Wikipedia and all the things that I looked up, that's the flavor profile. So what this comes across as is like a spicy lemon herb chicken. The chicken is tender, not dry. Adding that white sauce to it, which honestly I probably should have added more. There we go. Like, you can't have enough of this stuff. There we go. The white sauce definitely just goes well with this type of push cart. Honestly, it goes well with pretty much anything. And the rice, again, is good, but the thing that carries this most is the chicken. I'm glad I got these regular falafel because I want to try this to compare it to the honey sriracha version. Of course, I covered it in white sauce. What did they do to this? So just for comparison, I think the honey sriracha just comes from the outside. They look a little bit different in color. And there is something additional in this one over here as compared to the other one. But the texture on this, I don't know if it's because it's been sitting in the container. Not the best. A little bit of tomato. Again, I'm saying this operating under the pretense that you don't have any like halal style cart stuff near you. And in that case, I need to wipe my hand. I would say give this a shot. But if you live like in the New Jersey, New York City type of area where you have access to this stuff, for $12.99, you can get something like this much better from mom and pop. But we all understand that. Rating this against other franchise type of places, I would give it a 7 out of 10. It's not bad, and I would eat it for sure if it was the only thing I had access to and I was in the mood for this. Normally I take sips off camera in between, but sometimes people are like, where's the bev? It's always here, but you just don't see it. So there that is. I'm gonna start with, I feel like this is just regular hummus, bro. I feel like they lied to me. It says caramelized onion hummus. I don't really see much of a difference. Maybe it's in the blend. Got the pita chips that you're supposed to use to dip it with. You have the option of pita or pita chips, but I enjoy these just packaged pita chips, to be honest. This looks normal. No. So I gotta try it. I don't know if everybody would like that. If you're just looking for regular hummus, it's not going to taste like that. And I think that might turn some people off, but you ordered caramelized onion hummus, so I would hope not. It's their normal hummus, but there's definitely like a really sweet, oniony flavor in here. and it's very strong. This, for me, is like a switch up. I would have to be in the mood for this specifically because it is a much different taste, but it should be. So that's not like anything to penalize it on. The real question is it good? Yep. Yeah. I still would pick their regular one over this, but it is a nice switch up. And I would give this an 8, comparing it to other packaged hummus, including like the Sabro ones that you see at the store and stuff like that. It's on par, if not a little bit better than that one. Not really a problem. Not bad. I just wanted to try this one out. Baba Ganoush. It is made from eggplant and other spices, and it was something that I've never eaten until I did a video on King Falafel. It's a Middle Eastern place, and I tried their Baba Ganoush and I loved it. Never had anyone else's. I'm not the biggest fan of eggplant, but this is how you expand your horizon, so I'm just going to give this a shot. Theirs isn't bad either. That's not bad. This is also going to sound weird though. Theirs has much more of an eggplanty taste than the other one, which was from a mom and pop. I don't know if because they didn't spice it enough or something, but the eggplant aftertaste is really apparent in this one as compared to the other one. And again, I'm not the biggest fan of eggplant, so I don't love it, but I don't dislike it. It's growing on me, which is why you try different things. Would I get this one again? No. And that's just because I'm not the biggest fan of eggplant. But if you like eggplant, I think you'll like this more than I do. Compared to theirs at King Falafel, again, mom and pop, much better. But it's my only comparison. I would give this a 5.5 out of 10. And then last, chocolate baklava cheesecake. I am one of the biggest fans of baklava. It's one of those things that I just absolutely love. So I had to try this. One of my favorite dishes, I know I have my fork still here, yes, from a diner was this baklava cheesecake that I had 2 years ago, and I haven't had it since, but I never had a chocolate version. Now, I guess upon transport, it kind of moved the crust, but hold on. I don't think the chocolate works as well as if you did this with more of like a vanilla or normal cheesecake, because when I'm looking for dishes that are more sweet, like this, I feel like it goes better with vanilla or cheesecake. Chocolate is one of those things for me that I love chocolate, but it works only with specific things. Vanilla, when you're mixing it with things, for me, is a little more versatile. I don't dislike this. The cheesecake itself, it's a store-made cheesecake, which I expect. But comparing it to other store-made cheesecakes, it's bang average again. The baklava part, which I've had their baklava and I like it. Let me try this piece. It's not bad, but again, it's just very... This is the top part, by the way, because it was up. Nice. Why you clean your tables, folks. I'm not editing that. This is the top part, for those who are wondering. So it's got like a little chocolate type of, but it's really thin. Like, that's all the baklava, I just ate it. You know? So, it just comes across as a chocolate cheesecake because the baklava part just isn't strong enough. I think I paid $6 for this. It's kind of average again. The best thing I got was that sizzling spice chicken. Everything else was a little disappointing. I would pick this and this. That, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It's good, but it's just not great. And again, comparing it to store-bought stuff, not everything I've ever had. If I was comparing this to everything, I'd probably give it like a 3. Just being honest. Okay, time for a little topic of the day while I eat a little bit of this. Giants are going to play in a little bit, so I'm just kind of in the New York Giants waiting room. Not that I really care. You know, a lot of my friends want the team to lose. I just can't root for a team I like to lose. I just can't do it. But the topic is there's been a video recently with Savannah James. For those who don't know, that's the wife of one of the best to ever do it, Mr. LeBron James. How apparently she doesn't take pictures with men. Like when she's in the arena, there's been video of her, a group of guys try to take a picture with her, and she kind of just waved them off. I don't know if it was the same day or not because I didn't like look into it that much, but in the same clip that I saw, another video surfaces of her. There's a group of women that want to take a picture. She stopped, posed, smiled, hey, how you doing? And it became kind of a trending topic of, you know how everything turns into this like men versus women mindset? Like, I'm not really a fan of that, but I think there's some good that comes from it because understanding each other, it's a little easier when I listen to women talk about women issues than men talk about women issues because you're the ones that are dealing with it. So it's given me a little bit more of an understanding of where you're coming from, which I always respect. I can disagree at times, but I still do feel like it's heavily based on the individual. Not every man thinks alike, not every woman thinks alike, in other words. And a lot of men were like, where do I sign up for that? And there were some women saying that he's controlling her. Now, we don't know. I don't know if they had a conversation about it. I don't know if she does it on her own free will. I don't know if he told her to do it. I have no idea. No one does. So we're all just speculating. But listen, ladies, just please, just listen. Can you hear me out? Because I feel like anytime that you say something that upsets people, they turn their ears off and stop listening. So just, can you, like, because I love y'all. All right? And men too. Because some people get upset when people give their opinions, which I get, but just listen a little bit. So at least you can hear where me and other men that may think like me are coming from, in other words. And as always, I mean this stuff respectfully. It's just to give you a point of view on why people may think the way that they think. So I like that energy. I'm not going to lie to you. And I don't think that some people understand the why of why I like that energy, or why, as a guy, that if I have a girlfriend, I don't need her going on girls' trips and doing stuff like that. When I say stuff like that, I mean, you can go out with your friends, but if you're the type of woman that goes to a bar every weekend, and you want to get messed up with your friends and stuff like that, I just don't think that you're the right person for me. Other people you may be, and that's cool. But here's the why. It's in certain people's natures to, if you care about somebody, to want to protect them. It doesn't mean you can't protect yourself. It just means that if I care about you, I want to protect you. And I think that some people look at it as you're insecure or controlling. And I just want to say that that couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. Now, hear me out. I would never date a woman that I thought was going to cheat on me. If I thought you were the type of woman that's going to cheat on me, you wouldn't be my girlfriend in the first place. So it's not about you going out and wanting to do something behind my back. Because you can do that anywhere. I'm not an idiot. I understand that people that do stuff like that, you don't have to go to a bar to do so, or on a girl's trip. It just doesn't work that way. So where I come from is, and I think a lot of men come from the same way, we understand men and how men think. And that's the part that like gives me, if I'm not there and some guy is trying to, you can say no to someone, but not every guy takes that no with dignity. So I've seen situations where I've been at bars, and this is not with somebody I'm dating, but for example, say a guy comes up to you and he's like, hey, how you doing? Good intentions, operating under that pretense. And you reject him. No, thanks, not interested, I have a boyfriend. Some guys don't take that no very well. They could start insulting you. They could start harassing you. You could be in a situation that makes you uncomfortable. And as someone who cares, I don't even want you to be uncomfortable. Now, I understand that that stuff happens. But once I'm dating you, that's just the way my brain is going to go. And if you're away for 5 days without me, and you start going out and doing stuff like that, you're going to bars, it's even worse because I've been in situations personally where me or some of my friends, where someone we were dating, and this is when we were younger, this is why the mindset kind of changed, that I've had a woman call me and be like, listen, I'm out with my friends, I'm really uncomfortable, I don't want to be here, and I got to get up off the couch. I've done it. come up off the couch and I got to show up somewhere. And it's not a good feeling because now I go in there with, I could get in trouble because now if I'm trying to protect you, when I say, hey, listen, can you leave this woman alone? And he says, nah, you already know what's about to happen. I'm not just going to sit there and allow someone to harass you. And I don't want to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So I've been in situations like that where it got super uncomfortable and it's not a good feeling. Also, again, even if I am there and we go out, which is a little bit better because most people, if I've been out with my girl, they're not going to really bother her because I'm standing next to her. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but it's never happened in my life. I'm not saying it can't, but it hasn't. But at least I feel better knowing I'm there. So that's part of a big reason why. It's like, you don't know what happens when you're out at places where there's alcohol involved and there's people that are weird. Like, it's not necessarily me thinking you're going to do something, but I don't want anything to happen to you because unfortunately in the world we live in, things do happen. And I don't want to go into the crazy details and the worst case scenarios, but I think as a woman, you understand that when you're at a gas station at 3 o'clock in the morning and there's a group of dudes over there that start catcalling and stuff, sometimes they're very aggressive with stuff like that. And I don't want my girl being disrespected like that. I'm not really going to stand for that. So I don't think that, to me, those type of activities, and again, this is me, not every man. I'm not speaking on behalf of all men, but there are other men who think like me. When I'm in a relationship, the last thing I want to do is be going out and partying every weekend or going on trips with the boys and stuff like that. And I understand that other people think differently, but when I'm in a relationship, we're more of a unit. We move together because we're an item. I make decisions based off of, is that going to make my girl look bad? I don't want to run around at bars or hitting on or having people have conversations with things because I feel like if I'm out like that and if your friend saw me or you saw me and it looked like I was just flirting with people, I think it's embarrassing to have your friends come up to you and be like, I seen your man at the bar last night. He was talking to all these girls, boo, boo, boo. I think that's embarrassing. The last thing I want to do if I'm dating you is embarrass you. And I look at it the same way as a woman. If I saw you, because to me, those are single people activities. Going to bars every weekend. I'm not saying every once in a while you can't go out with your friends. I go out with my friends too, but when it's like every weekend, every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like I just don't think you should be in a relationship at that point because you're still trying to have your fun outside of the relationship. And it doesn't mean that you're doing extra stuff, meaning like, you know, extramarital or the like. It doesn't mean you're doing that. I just think that you move differently. Again, please don't get offended because there are other men who don't care. I do, and I wouldn't personally do that to somebody I'm dating. I want the same thing in return. That's just what I look at as a respect thing. Like, to me, moving single is different than moving in a relationship. I don't know if I'm old school or whatever it is, but the house I grew up in, I ain't seen no activity like that. And I don't want no activity like that. And in return, I'm going to give you the respect of not doing any activities like that. You ain't never going to have to worry about where I'm at or if I'm doing something because I'm not going to put you in no situation where you even have to think about it. And it's not about you not trusting me. I hope you do. But I don't want other people or even just you having any doubt creeping into your head of why are they going out every weekend like this? Because it's very rare that a woman goes out to a bar and you're not at least approached by a couple of guys. And if you think your man is attractive, maybe he's getting approached too. But that shouldn't matter anyway. Because if I go out and I'm like with somebody like that, I don't really want to be that. And like sporadically, yeah. But most of the time, I'd rather be doing different stuff. And of course, you should have different activities outside of your relationship. I'm not saying don't have friends. Like if I hang out with my friends, for example, I had to go to a bachelor party. This is a true story. I had to go to a bachelor party. One of my friends got married. This was back in September. And most people would think it was going to be some crazy bachelor party. We went to Chili's. Like, we was at Chili's. They ate some wings. And no joke. We was watching the football games and we went to Chili's. And then we went to this, like, do you guys know what DraftKings is? We went to one of those type of places. We have a lounge here that's like I swear to God, the place is 100% men. Like, we were all sitting at a table with a bunch of dudes. And they because I don't bet, I don't gamble, they do. So they were gambling, I was just kind of sitting there and I had a club soda, bro. And we were just chilling, just like that. We didn't do no other stuff because, and I asked my friend why, and I agree with him. I was like, you know, because some other people like, this ain't no bachelor party. And I was like, this is the type of party I would want because if I propose to somebody, I don't want to, like, I don't need to celebrate my last day of being single. I did that already. My celebration was my whole life. Like, I don't really look at it as, now I got to have one last time because that one last time was the last 20 some odd years that I was running around. Like, if I settle down, once I put that ring, say, will you marry me? Like, I don't want to party no more. Not like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just look at it differently. I just wanted to give people a perspective because I think that some people look at it as insecure. You can't tell a dude like me that got a black fingernail that I'm insecure. I don't give what people think. It ain't really about insecurity. It's just about the situations that I've seen and just knowing how men move. Like some men are just like, you know how men get, man. And if you don't, I'm glad you don't. But most men, we know how men get. So that's a big reason. Like I don't want to have to come up off the couch and then I gotta, like do something. I'm too old to be doing stuff like that. Maybe when I was 21. I'm not 21 no more. I'm old. So that's the perspective. I just want to talk about that. Like I like that type of energy, and I don't know why she does it. If they had a conversation, but I'm sure she knows. Like that's her man, and it is what it is. But I just want to talk about that. Other than checking with y'all, food was decent, not the best, but sometimes that happens. That's why we try everything. But we'll be back tomorrow. More content, man. I love y'all. The hand signs, they made it to YouTube.